Now he sets off and skips away from Mkhitaryan. Oh, that's brilliant! That is brilliant!
Show me your license, your certificate, your passport, bro. You're not 17.
Lamine Yamal.
Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal.
No, Lamine the Dream was an absolute sensation tonight. I mean, wow, what a performance.
And the winner is Lamine Yamal.
Football fans, brace yourselves. There's a 17-year-old sensation taking the football world by storm. And astonishingly, not enough people are talking about it. His name? Lamine Yamal. A prodigy from Barcelona. He's not just making waves, he's redefining...
Oh, I've never seen a 17-year-old with this much aura.
In an era where young talents emerge regularly, Yamal stands out.
Get these two off my screen.
17 years and 271 days, he already has 100 appearances for Barcelona's first team, a feat that puts him ahead of legends like Messi and Ronaldo at the same age. But
bro got 30 years of experience at 17.
While the footballing world watches in awe, many are still underestimating the magnitude of his talent and the trajectory he's on.
Nobody's underestimating. Inter Milan puts 3 to 4 defenders on his ass the whole game. Nobody's underestimating him now.
Isn't just another young player with potential. This is a generational talent unfolding before our eyes. Let's rewind the tape and go back to where it all began. Lamine Yamal was born on July 13, 2007, in Esplugues de Llobregat, just outside Barcelona. His roots are diverse. A Moroccan father, a mother from Equatorial Guinea, and his upbringing was anything but glamorous. He grew up in Rocafonda, one of Spain's most overlooked neighborhoods, and it was there on the gritty streets that his fearless street-style flair was born. His parents split.
That's where it all comes from.
And bouncing between his mum's place in Granollers and his dad's in Rocafonda only made him tougher. Now here's where the story takes a crazy turn. By the time Lamine was 4 years old, yep, you heard that right, he was already playing organized football.
Bro got 30 years of football experience at 4. I'm done. I'm done.
He was tearing it up for a local team called CF La Torreta. And when he was 6, Barcelona came calling. Barca scouts spotted him and it was like love at first sight. He joined La Masia, one of the greatest football academies on earth. And get this, there's a picture from back in the day of baby Lamine in a bathtub being held by Lionel.
I'm starting to think Lamine gave Messi this, you know what I mean? I don't think Messi I'm starting to think Lamine, actually not Messi really held this man and then it was done after that, bro. He was the chosen one.
Actual footage. It was part of a charity event back in 2008. Who would have thought that that tiny kid in Messi's arms would grow up to one day...
Tiny? He's almost taller than Messi.
At La Masia, Lamine didn't just blend in. He stood out. He flew through the age groups, always playing with kids 2 or 3 years older than him. By 15, he was already training with the Barcelona first team. Imagine that. Math homework after school and then nutmegging world-class defenders in the evening.
This is
Even when
crazy.
he was called up to train with the senior squad, he didn't act starstruck. He played like he belonged. So while other 15-year-olds were playing video games and stressing about school exams,
and watching people get stuck in washing machines, Chad.
In training sessions with Xavi's squad,
y'all ain't slick.
Still managing to stay in school. It's wild to think about how far he's come already, but what's even crazier? That was just the beginning. From his very first touch, 15-year-old Lamine Yamal had Camp Nou buzzing. On April 29, 2023, he came on in a 4-0 win over Real Betis and immediately broke records. At 15 years, 9 months, 16 days, he became Barcelona's youngest ever La Liga player. He nearly scored off a dribble and a clever chip moments after coming on, forcing a great save. Proof that even in just a few minutes he could have quite an impact.
And of course Dembele misses for Barca again.
Him for his debut, saying,
I think I think he showed that he is only 15-year-old. He has a great talent offense. That's easy to find in football.
His rise didn't start there. It started at La Masia. Xavi saw
La Masia, nigga.
To skip the wait list. He told the board, this one's different. And when the 23-24 season began, Yamal wasn't just a squad filler, he was starting. Week in, week out against grown men, La Liga veterans. He tore apart Cadiz, destroyed Villarreal, and by the end of the year,
what am I watching?
50 senior appearances under his belt. At 16. At 16. That's not progress, that's a meteor. Then the records started crumbling. Youngest player to start a league match for Barca? Lamine. Youngest to register an assist? Lamine. Youngest to score in La Liga? Yep, Lamine again.
I'm sorry, yo, Chad, this might be a bad take in a couple, but yo, Lamine Yamal is on, like, if he continues this every single year, like, he's going to be up there with Ronaldo and Messi.
And then came Spain. On September the 8th, 2023, Yamal became the youngest player to ever debut for the Spanish national team. But he didn't just make an appearance, he scored. Against Georgia, he slid into the box and tucked it in like a seasoned veteran. And then came the Euro call-up. A 16-year-old is walking into the senior squad for the European Championship. It should have been pressure, but for Lamine, it was just another playground. He didn't just play, he led. He was voted the tournament's young player of the tournament, having finished with 4 assists.
I know African parents are watching this sick, knowing that their 16-year-old kid isn't doing this.
Coming at Barcelona, but it only showed that Lamine Yamal's brilliance is not dependent on a particular manager or a system. He has absolutely thrived under Flick too. His performance against Inter Milan in the first leg.
Chat, my dad does not know about Lamine. If I told him about that, I would be cooked right now.
Solo goal in a 3-3 semi-final first leg draw against Inter Milan. That strike not only pulled Barca back into the tie after going 2-0 down, but also made Yamal the youngest ever scorer in a Champions League semi-final, breaking Kylian Mbappe's record.
What the? I didn't know that. What the?
Inter's manager, Simone Inzaghi, said, Yamal created a lot of problems for us, and called him a talent that is born every 50 years. Now, let's address the elephant in the room.
That's high praise.
Comparisons. It's impossible to watch Lamine Yamal play and not think about 2 names, Lionel Messi and Neymar. And here's the scary part. He's showing signs of both, but at an even younger age than when those two started cooking. Let's start with the obvious, the Messi stuff. Left-footed? Check. Playing on the right wing and cutting inside with those razor-sharp dribbles?
Yeah.
Check. A low center of gravity, close control, and that uncanny ability to...
It's always the ads, man.
Sometimes the greatest rush.
To carry the ball like it's glued to his boot? Massive check. The way Lamine glides past defenders doesn't just remind you of young Messi, it feels like watching 2006 Messi all
Chat,
over
we're
again.
truly blessed to see Lamine play it after Messi and Ronaldo start slowing down.
He has flashes of Messi. Not a fan tweet, not some media hype. Xavi said that. But then there's the Neymar side of him. The flair, the confidence, the joy, and now the hair too. You can tell Neymar was his idol just by watching him. He's got that boldness to try the impossible. A nutmeg here, a cheeky back heel there. His creativity isn't just...
Makes me want to tear up, bro. This is see him in another 3 years. Imagine that, him at 23.
In air and puts the ball exactly where it needs to be. In fact, in his first 100 games for Barca, Yamal registered more assists than Messi or Neymar did at that same milestone. While Messi had 21 and Neymar had 26 assists after 100 appearances, Lamine had 33. And he did it all before even turning 18. Positionally, Lamine is doing what both Messi and Neymar did early on, hugging the wing, beating his man, and drifting inside when it matters. He usually operates on the right flank like young Leo, but his movement is fluid. Under Xavi and now Hansi Flick, he's even being used centrally or occasionally on the left, just like Neymar did during his time at Barca and PSG. And he's not just floating around. Tactically, he's becoming one of Barca's most reliable creative outlets.
All he needs to do is get his work on his shots. If he can master that curve shot, it's over.
Inch perfect service. It's like watching someone born from the best parts of both legends. The joy and daring of Neymar, the balance and brilliance of Messi. But make no mistake, Lamine is starting to write his own legacy. So what's next for Lamine Yamal? The sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning. Contract-wise, Barcelona is locking in their gem. After signing a deal in 2023 valid until 2026,
they gotta put a $10 billion release clause on his ass.
His meteoric rise. Agent George Mendes has confirmed that Yamal will extend his contract beyond 2026, ensuring his future remains at Camp Nou. Looking ahead, the Ballon d'Or isn't just a dream, it's a tangible goal. Pundits like Rio Ferdinand believe that if Barcelona clinches the Champions League, Yamal could be a legitimate contender for the award. Now look, it's easy to get carried away. We've seen young stars burn bright and fade fast, but with Yamal, it just feels different. Hey, what do you think? Can Lamine Yamal go all the way and become the next big face?
Bro, he's already proving it.
Or is it still too early to tell? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you
Chat, he might win the Ballon d'Or. I don't want to hear any Vinny's and Mbappe's in the chat ever again. Y'all are cooked.